1870. Europe stood on the brink of a war that would change its future forever. France and Prussia were locked in a deadly struggle. But one question echoed across the continent. Where were the great powers? Why didn't they intervene? Was it simple neutrality? Or was something deeper at play? Let's start with Britain, the silent watcher. Britain, an empire that ruled over vast lands, watching as war unfolded in Europe. But when the conflict erupted, London chose to stand aside. Why? Britain followed a golden rule, the balance of power. If it supported France, Germany would rise unchecked. If it backed Prussia, France would seek revenge. One wrong move, and Britain could be dragged into another Napoleonic-style war. So, it chose the safest path, to stay silent. But behind closed doors, British diplomats watched every move, ready to tip the balance if needed. Russia, preoccupied with reforms. To the east, Russia was an empire in transition. Tsar Alexander II had just freed millions of serfs, but his military was weak, outdated, war with Prussia or France. It was out of the question. Russia had its eyes elsewhere, on the Ottoman Empire. It had old scores to settle in the Balkans. Why join a Western war when a much bigger prize was waiting in the south? So Russia waited and planned. Austria-Hungary, fear and defeat. 4 years ago, Austria had faced Prussia in battle and lost. The Austro-Prussian War of 1866 shattered Austria's dominance in Germany. Now, Vienna had a choice: revenge or survival. Austria's empire was fragile, divided between Germans, Hungarians, Slavs. Another war could tear it apart. So Austria-Hungary watched from the sidelines, fearing what would come next. Italy, the struggle for Rome. Italy was a young nation, still fighting for unity. Its biggest goal? Taking Rome from the Pope and making it the capital of Italy. France was the only thing protecting the Pope. But now, France was distracted. This was Italy's chance. Why fight in a European war when Italy could achieve its own dream? But the decision wasn't simple. France still had troops stationed in Rome, and an open attack could provoke a wider conflict. Italy's leaders debated. Should they wait or strike? Finally, in 1870, when Napoleon III was losing the war against Prussia, the French garrison in Rome was withdrawn. Italy seized the opportunity. Troops marched on Rome, facing little resistance. On September 20th, 1870, Italy entered the city, fulfilling its long-held ambition. Rome became the new capital of a unified Italy. Italy had chosen its own war, and won. In the end, none of the great powers stepped in. Each had its own reasons, its own ambitions. And so, France and Prussia fought alone. By the time the war ended, Europe had changed forever. A new German empire had risen. France was humiliated, and the balance of power had shifted. The great powers did not fight in the Franco-Prussian War, but they would all feel its impact in the years to come.